Welcome back to Sam's podcast, where we delve into the most bizarre and unsettling stories from around the world. Today, we're stepping into a realm where curiosity and morality collide, the strange and often unsettling world of science. We're about to explore 5 of the weirdest, most disturbing experiments ever conducted on Earth. Experiments that pushed the boundaries of ethics and revealed the darker aspects of human nature. Buckle up, because these stories are as chilling as they are fascinating. Our first stop takes us back to 1971, to the hallowed halls of Stanford University. Picture this: a basement transformed into a makeshift prison, a group of seemingly ordinary college students, and a psychology professor named Philip Zimbardo with a burning question: what happens when you put good people in an evil place? This, my friends, is the story of the Stanford prison experiment. Zimbardo randomly assigned these students to be either guards or prisoners. The guards, outfitted with mirrored sunglasses and wielding wooden batons, were given free rein to maintain order. The prisoners, stripped of their identities and assigned numbers, were subjected to simulated arrests, forced to wear humiliating uniforms, and confined to cramped cells. What unfolded over the next 6 days shocked the world. The guards, drunk on their newfound power, transformed into authoritarian figures, their behavior growing increasingly cruel and sadistic. They subjected the prisoners to sleep deprivation, solitary confinement, and psychological torture. The prisoners, stripped of their autonomy and dignity, descended into despair, some experiencing full-blown emotional breakdown. The experiment, initially slated to run for 2 weeks, was abruptly halted after just 6 days. The reason? The lines between simulation and reality blur, the ethical boundaries crossed themselves. Zimbardo himself, so caught up in his role as prison superintendent, failed to recognize the escalating abuse until an outsider, a graduate student, voiced her horror. The Stanford prison experiment stands as a chilling testament to the power of situational forces. It revealed how easily ordinary individuals can succumb to the lure of authority, shedding their moral compass along the way. It exposed the dark underbelly of human nature, reminding us that the capacity for evil lurks within us all, waiting for the right, or should I say wrong, circumstances to emerge. Our next tale takes us deep into the heart of the Cold War, shrouded in secrecy and fueled by whispers. It's a story so gruesome, so unsettling, that it straddles the line between fact and fiction. This, my friends, is the legend of the Russian sleep experiment. Imagine a clandestine laboratory hidden within Soviet Russia. The year is 1940. Inside, political prisoners deemed enemies of the state are held captive. Their captors, driven by a thirst for scientific advancement, embark on a chilling experiment. To test the limits of human endurance, to unlock the secrets of sleep deprivation, and to create soldiers who could fight tirelessly, fueled by an experimental gas. This gas, they believed, held the key to conquering fatigue. For 15 days, prisoners were subjected to this gas, monitored through 2-way mirrors. At first, the effects were subtle: restlessness, anxiety, paranoia. But as days passed, the prisoners descended into a waking nightmare. Their minds, starved of sleep, began to unravel. They hallucinated, their thoughts disintegrating into madness. They became aggressive, lashing out at invisible tormentors. The accounts of what transpired next are the stuff of nightmares. Some prisoners, driven to insanity, resorted to self-mutilation. Others, their minds shattered, were reduced to whimpering shadows. The experiment, if it occurred, was deemed a failure, a testament to the limits of human endurance. The prisoners broken met gruesome ends, a chilling reminder of the horrors of unchecked scientific ambition. Chapter 3: Project MKUltra, the CIA's mind control conspiracy. Our journey into the dark heart of scientific experimentation takes us to the shadowy world of espionage, a time when the world was on the brink of nuclear annihilation, superpowers clashing for global dominance. This is the chilling story of Project MKUltra, the CIA's foray into mind control. Imagine a world where your thoughts and identity could be manipulated by unseen forces. The CIA sought to create programmable assassins, walking weapons devoid of free will. From the 1950s to the early 1970s, the CIA conducted covert experiments on unwitting subjects. Their goal? To unlock the secrets of mind control, to weaponize the human psyche. LSD became their tool of choice, administered to unsuspecting citizens and soldiers. Project MKUltra was shrouded in secrecy, denied by the CIA for decades. In 1975, a Senate investigation revealed the horrifying truth. Most records were destroyed in 1973 by CIA Director Richard Helms, erasing countless experiments. The legacy of MKUltra is a dark stain on American history, a chilling reminder of ethical boundaries crossed. It's a story that fuels conspiracy theories, a reminder that truth can be stranger than fiction. Chapter 4. The Milgram Experiment, Shocking Obedience to Authority. Our next exploration into the dark side of science takes us to the realm of social psychology, where we confront a chilling truth about human nature, our willingness to obey authority, even when it clashes with our moral compass. This is the story of the Milgram Experiment, a study that shook the world and forced us to confront the unsettling power of obedience. Imagine yourself in 1961 at Yale University, volunteering for what you believe to be a simple memory experiment. You are assigned the role of teacher, while another participant, seemingly just an ordinary guy, takes on the role of learner. Your task seems straightforward enough: to administer electric shocks to the learner every time he gets an answer wrong. Unbeknownst to you, the learner is an actor and the shocks are not real. The real experiment lies in observing how far you, the teacher, are willing to go, how much pain you are willing to inflict, simply because an authority figure, in this case a man in a lab coat, instructs you to do so. As the experiment progresses, the learner's cries of pain become increasingly desperate. He begs you to stop, pleading for mercy. But the man in the lab coat, the embodiment of authority, urges you to continue, assuring you that the experiment requires that you continue. The results were shocking. Despite their moral qualms, despite the learner's pleas for mercy, a staggering 65% of participants continued to administer shocks, all the way up to the highest voltage, a level labeled XX, a level they believed to be lethal. The Milgram Experiment unveiled a chilling truth about human nature: our deep-seated tendency to obey authority, even when it violates our moral principles. It showed that under the right circumstances, ordinary people are capable of inflicting unimaginable pain simply because they are told to do so. Chapter 5. The Tuskegee Syphilis Study, a Betrayal of Trust. Our final descent into the dark heart of scientific research takes us to Macon County, Alabama, where a 40-year study riddled with racial prejudice and medical malfeasance unfolded, leaving an indelible stain on American history. This, my friends, is the story of the Tuskegee Syphilis Study, a stark reminder of the devastating consequences when scientific curiosity trumps human compassion. Imagine being denied treatment for a life-threatening disease, not because a cure doesn't exist, but because you are deemed a mere subject, a means to an end in a twisted experiment. This was the grim reality for 600 African-American men in Macon County, Alabama. In 1932, the U.S. Public Health Service, in collaboration with the Tuskegee Institute, initiated a study to observe the natural progression of untreated syphilis. These men, impoverished and mostly illiterate sharecroppers, were lured into the study under false pretenses, promised free medical care, meals, and burial insurance. What they weren't told was that they were infected with syphilis, a sexually transmitted infection that can have devastating consequences if left untreated. They were never given a diagnosis, never informed of their true condition. Instead, they were told they were being treated for bad blood, a catch-all term for various ailments. Even when penicillin became the standard treatment for syphilis in the 1940s, these men were denied access to this life-saving drug. The researchers, blinded by their pursuit of scientific knowledge, chose to withhold treatment, allowing the disease to ravage their bodies, to observe its devastating effects. The Tuskegee Syphilis Study continued for 40 years, a shameful chapter in American medical history. It wasn't until 1972 when a whistleblower, horrified by the study's ethical violations, brought the story to light, that the study was finally shut down. The legacy of Tuskegee is one of pain, betrayal, and a deep mistrust of medical institutions, particularly within the African American community. It serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of scientific hubris and the importance of ethical considerations in research. And there you have it, 5 of the weirdest and most disturbing scientific experiments in history. From the simulated prison cells of Stanford to the covert laboratories of the CIA, these stories offer a glimpse into the dark side of human nature, the seductive power of authority, and the terrifying ease with which ethical boundaries can be crossed in the pursuit of knowledge. These stories serve as a stark reminder of how far science can go in the name of knowledge, and the ethical boundaries that must never be crossed. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to share, comment, and subscribe to Sam's podcast for more spine-tingling tales. Until next time, stay curious, and stay cautious.